Hey everybody, Ghosthunter Larry here, Ghosthunter Dan behind the camera, and today we are at Twin Sisters Park. Dan wants to kind of pan around, get a nice view of the park here. It's actually a sledding hill in the winter too.
One awesome sledding hill, I want to say.
Oh, I've been down it a few times.
Yeah, now right up over there is East High School.
And right over there is someone mowing their lawn. That's how close the houses are. Very close. Yeah. As you can tell, it's getting dark, and this is a part of the park district. So we can't be here after dark, so we got to make this quick. Dan, you know a lot about the history of the stories here.
Now the history and the stories is that a girl came out and hung herself from one of the trees around here, and somebody said it was a willow. Now there's a willow right over in here when we came in, but I think the willow that everybody's talking about is that big weeping willow over there.
Which the last time we were here, you couldn't tell it was a willow tree.
No. So Larry and I are going to make our ways over there. Now,
sorry about the audio, by the way.
Yeah, our audio is going to kind of suck, guys, because we're close to downtown Rockford, and as soon as we cross the bridge, yeah, you can hear the mower in the background, and I don't expect some gentleman to quit mowing his lawn because we're back here. But we're going to walk across the bridge. There's running water down here.
Which, as they've always said,
running water increases paranormal activity.
That's right.
So
that's right. Which, if you actually got running on both sides.
Yep, you've got it running.
Points, you got one down there too. You can see. So
we're gonna see how far. I mean, if it's gonna be like walking through the jungle, Larry and I probably aren't gonna go back there.
I think we'll be okay. This looks pretty clear out here.
Yeah, I mean there's a pathway cut back there, so if we can get to it, we will. If we can't, we'll go back around and get to the area on this side of it that is mowed down. I don't want to be a pansy or sound like we're being pansies, but the deeper we get into the woods, we're going to have to beat feet out of here so we don't get arrested. So,
right.
You know.
The willow should be to our left over there, right?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, you know what? The willow is on that side of the creek.
Is it really?
It really is.
Oh, no.
So, well, that's okay.
Okay.
Because now that we're down here, let's pan around, show you there's a trail right through the woods here. See those street lights over there? That's Schnucks right there. So, I can actually see people walking in and out of the store from here. Don't know if you can see it on the camera or not, but if there's voices that you're hearing down here at night, anybody who might, you know, think it's haunted, well, you can hear the guy mowing the lawn.
Well, if you look, if any of those people have their windows open over there, you'll hear it.
And are talking, you're going to hear it.
You'll hear their TV.
I mean,
you'll hear them talking.
We're about 80 yards away from the nearest house.
Right.
Right now.
Now, a lot of the stories are what? Women screaming, right?
Women screaming, chains rattling.
Now you've got garages. Obviously the guy has a garage because he's mowing his lawn, or he's got a shed to put his lawnmower in.
Right.
You can only assume that someone's got chains.
Or the chain that brings up the garage door.
Right.
Or
a rickety chain or whatever.
You know.
You've got all these houses here. People watching CSI. You've got women screaming on that show. If you've got two consenting adults, you've got screaming there.
I can't believe Larry just went there.
Hey, you know what? We have to consider every possibility.
Well, but yes, he is correct. We do have to. So one thing I want to show you guys is these tree roots that are growing trees out over the creek here. That creek gets pretty high when it's in flood stage.
Well, yeah, you can see it goes, another 5 feet up.
Yeah, and plus, look at how that bank's eating out over there. So,
yeah.
Let's head over there. We'll get a couple more shots of the water here. And I'll back off the bridge.
All the way down past the willow, too.
Yeah, so
it's still flowing down there.
Let's try to walk you guys down to the willow. And
UV on too while I'm doing that.
Larry's going to start shooting UV, which I'll put up as a separate video. But It's going to get a little boring, guys, because you're going to hear the same audio on 2 videos for a bit.
Sorry.
So, now, one thing that Larry and I could do is he has his thermal. If we, well, we can walk back to the truck and get it.
Right.
But if we are down here without anybody bugging us for a little bit,
Could pop the thermal in.
we could pop the thermal out and see if we see anything there. Now remember, the thing about a thermal, it picks up heat and cold. So if you see a heat signature, it doesn't necessarily mean it's a ghost. It means that maybe there's somebody down here, you know, hitting the brew or something.
Or the sun was shining on something during the day and it's still
holding the
warmer than
warmth.
shadowy areas.
So,
Which you see
okay.
that a lot in cemetery stones.
So here's where the creek widens out. You can see where it's flown around and dug out a lot of the side here. So we're almost to the willow. Larry and I see how close we can get to the willow.
Looks pretty good.
We've been hearing fire trucks and stuff. We were over at the Adams Hall earlier tonight, and over at Rockford College. Seems like we were hearing fire trucks over there all night long. So
Right.
let's see here. You know what, Larry? It looks like there's a pathway back to the willow.
Sounds like that's coming from Schnucks.
Okay, well, we're going to follow the beaten pathway back to the willow.
Yeah, look, my friend.
Sorry about the everything going off back there.
Some things are outside of our control.
Okay.
I don't see any other willow trees. Well, actually, this one is technically 2 willow trees next to each other.
Yeah. With a big pile of wood.
Right.
I don't see any way of really getting back. Well, there's the willow tree. Now, is it kind of spooky looking? Yeah, I guess. I don't see any of the witch carvings or anything in it that everybody seems to like to talk about. Sorry about the shaking the camera there. I'm crossing. The creek's right down through the pathway there, or if I follow the pathway up around here. But I don't see any carvings on this willow tree, and I don't know if the camera does it justice for you guys. We're not very far off of the mowed part.
No. 30 feet maybe?
But Larry and I've got a pretty good point on it, and I don't see any. There's said that there used to be a hanging branch. Somebody hung themselves off of it.
I don't see any branches big enough to do that, for one.
Now, maybe when this tree was younger, you know, one of those branches up in there, maybe, I don't know.
Possible.
But as far as, you know, one of the rumors is you walk right into the willow tree and you can see carvings right on it. Well,
Let's go find out.
I don't know. I
got my boots on.
I don't see many carvings on anything. You see anything, Larry?
Nothing.
Oh, I see a big old vine that's growing up the side of it.
Yeah, huge one. I'm gonna go around the back side here. Got an animal hole in the back.
Yeah.
I'll try to steer clear of that.
Yeah, don't get in there too deep, man.
No, I don't see a thing. I
Yeah.
see vines.
Okay.
I would imagine that if there were carvings, the majority of them would probably already have been
Gone or
gone by
chipped
now
out
anyway.
or
Yeah. The bark of the tree probably would have grown over it
grown over it by
or
now.
pushed it out, something.
So,
Because this tree is very much still alive.
yeah. I mean, there is a dead part up in it, but it's, I mean, you can see there's a lot of leaves on there, so,
And when we were here a couple months ago, it was dormant.
yeah. So, well, we're going to walk back out of the woods here. Now, there is another willow tree. And I'm sorry, this is going to be kind of a long video.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Actually, Larry and I are going to get out to the clearing. We're going to walk over to the other willow tree. And we'll do it, we'll call that Twin Sisters Park Part 2. And we'll go over to the other willow tree. So what I'm going to do is we'll pan on Larry.
Don't do that.
We'll pan on the willow tree where we just came out of.
Yep.
And
notice that you can still hear that lawnmower.
Still hear the lawnmower.
Yep. You got the schnooks over there. We heard the car horn going off before.
Yep.
You've got houses right over there with their windows pointed towards us.
Plus, you've got, one thing I want to point out is right up on top of that hill, you got those great big high tension line towers right there. Plus, right over here, you can see where our car's parked. Coming into the park, those are all power lines too. So then you got power lines over there going to the houses.
Right.
So the whole park is wrapped
pretty much
with high tensile electricity and power lines over there. So what does that create? Fear cage. So now out where we're at right now, I don't think so. But I'm going to guarantee if we walked up on top of that hill with our EMF meter, those suckers would set it off. So,
I'd rather not get irradiated.
Yeah, I think what we're going to say is safely is that it's going to be very hard for us to do any EVP sessions.
Without breaking the law, for one.
Right. We'd literally have to be down here at 3 in the morning. And, guys, the cops aren't going to go for that.
No.
So,
no.
Let's end this video here.
Yeah, good idea.
And
for all of you that have commented on our first video saying, I've been there, I've heard that, I've seen that. Bear in mind, if you are here at night, we can't do that. Because we can't put a video out saying, we're at Twin Sisters Park at 2 a.m. in Rockford, Illinois.
Right.
Just go ahead and handcuff me now.
Right. Because Ghosthunter Dan works for law enforcement. So guess what? Ain't going to happen. I'm not going to break the law. So,
right. So I know you want us to try and investigate it, but for one, it's just not feasible. We can't be here at night, and obviously, what you can hear right now, it's too loud during the day.
Yeah.
And two, there's just so much potential for it to be something else. Like if you've got like a teeter-totter, you know, one way it's paranormal, the other way 100% explainable. If it's more explainable than paranormal,
and we've said before, we're never going to say that that stuff didn't happen, that it doesn't have the potential to be haunted, because every place has the potential of being haunted.
Every single place,
even though we've debunked a lot of it to where we've thought it was just legend. But I just don't know how we'd prove it, guys. I don't. You're never going to get quiet, especially with a 24-hour schnooks just on the other side of these trees.
Right.
So, I mean, that thing's open 24 hours a day.
You got semis coming in at night.
You got semis coming in. Charles Street's right up on top of that hill, which is a very well-used road, 24 hours a day. So, let's go over to the other willow. We'll cut this video here, and we'll pick up over there.